Kia ora, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Ralph. We run a company called Trick of the Light Theatre.
And today we're going to talk to you about our mahi.
Sure. So we have made two works that I guess would fall under the solo work banner. One of them is called The Bookbinder, which I wrote and performed, and Hannah directed and designed. Then we've more recently made another piece called Troll, which is kind of a solo piece. We're both on stage, and for the first section I'm performing and Hannah is operating and puppeteering and doing the sound and lights, and then we switch halfway through.
What is the solo piece? That's what I want to know.
Often we'll start by going for a long walk together and just throwing out a bunch of ideas of stuff we want to put in a show. Then we'll come home, scribble them on huge bits of paper, which we will plaster all over the walls, start linking them up, and then we'll bash out a sort of a very rough as guts synopsis in a Google Doc, which we'll send back and forwards.
Ralph normally then writes a script, and I take on a more editorial role, saying, no, bad idea, yes, great idea.
When we first made the Bookbinder, we put the whole thing together over about two and a half, 3 weeks, including writing the script and designing and making all the things, and then we put it in front of an audience at RTB's here in Wellington, and did something like 24 shows over 2 weeks.
I think all of our work we hone through performance. So one of the kind of core parts of our company is that we tour a lot and we constantly fiddle with the shows, you know.
Something that I find really exciting about solo work is that the audience is the other actor in the piece or the other character in the piece, which means every show is different because you can only respond to the audience. You're playing off the audience, so I'm sending lines to different people and they'll react differently.
Troll and Bookbinder, both of them we have rehearsed in our own home. One of the beauties of solo work is you don't need necessarily as much physical space as you need to make a show with a lot of people, and so you can save some money. Something that I have come to realise more and more is whatever you bring into the rehearsal room is going to be what ends up being essential in the show.
So with Bookbinder, it was all made using things that we had in our desk. So there was scissors and paper, and with Troll it was sort of a similar process, except we were using all the other stuff that was on our desk. So it was laptops and keyboards.
The script is often the skeleton for us, and then we clothe it in a thick layer of design that is the muscles and the skin.
Both usually happen at the same time, design and scripting. So whilst we'll have a script that we're working with, usually that script has been written while Hannah's working on some aspect of the design in the other room, and we're sort of shouting ideas back and forward. We really like our design to be integrated into our script and content and form to work together. Working on solo pieces and performing solo pieces is an intense experience for both the performer and the audience. So when we're workshopping, we try and make sure we've got times in the day where we get out of the space and go for a walk. And likewise in shows, for the audience it's quite intense looking at one person, hearing them tell you a story for the whole time. So we try and find different ways of making space, whatever that is.
I mean, the most essential part of any process for us would definitely be coffee.
Yeah.
Other than that, depends on the project.
But there's always pens and paper, and we're scribbling things down. We find it really useful to try and document as we go, both in terms of writing stuff down on pieces of paper that we can try and decipher later, but also, especially lately, to filming stuff.
There's kind of 2 steps to that. So like filming, which is what happens in the room, but then some kind of curation of that. Otherwise, you've just got hours of footage. And you can't find your way in, and it's like, who's got time to watch it all? When
the going gets tough, we will walk away for a bit. We try to get eyes on our work as much as possible, so that's both by inviting people in at that rough as guts first draft stage, but also embracing the fact that what we're putting on stage to the first audience is a first draft, and asking people for feedback.
Failing is good. If you can acknowledge it and think, why did that happen? And I love going to see good shows, but I also love going to see bad shows and being like, why didn't that work? What was it about that I didn't like? And kind of the ruthless pursuit of excellence includes acknowledging when you haven't achieved excellence and then figuring out why.
I'd say a crucial part of our process is also just seeing as much work as we can. We're magpies, so we like going to things and finding new ideas and new ways of working.
And stealing them.
Yes.